Words cannot describe my pure and utter hatred of Presta valves. These skinny, limp monstrosities of engineering deserve a trial at The Hague. If I could inscribe hate on every single atom in the universe, the total usage of the word hate in that instance would not approximate 1/1 billionth of my disdain for Presta valves. So I want to talk about them. Presta valves are one of the two commonly found types of tire valves found in the US, the other being Schrader valves. Now, Schrader valves are fat bastards that would outlive the heat death of the universe. These things are the valves you see on your car tires. The story goes back to the 19th century with the evolution of tires themselves, with the modern version we know today being created in 1891. And just like the most Nagant, it still sees service today. Schrader valves are awesome. As stated previously, they're fat, so they're very big and hard to break via normal use. Also extremely easy to use. I mean, you just plug in your pump and you pump away. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the F35 or SU57 tires had Schrader valves too. They're just simply better than Presta valves in every conceivable way. Now, this is in stark contrast to the unholy Presta valve. This thing that is referred to as a valve is made by the most disgusting creature, and forgive me for saying this, Frenchman, in the 1930s no less. So that's like 5 bad things that happened in that decade. Now, Presta means fast. Fast as in how fast it takes me to rage at this disgusting thing. This thing was created by Frenchmen, which in of themselves is a fake Romance language made by them not pronouncing half their words because they were too busy getting drunk off their wine and fighting Anglos, just so 90 years down the line they can make some random dude in Arizona rage about it. But to get to the main point, these things are the literal spawn of Satan. Start with how goddamn flimsy these things are. So you have to unscrew the top cap to get air through, but the tip bends if you look at it wrong. Like I was biking a little bit ago and noticed I was constantly losing air. Now, this wasn't because the tube had a hole in it. No, instead it was because when I was pumping it last time, I must have not pulled the pump perfectly up at a 90-degree straight angle, and instead pulled with a 0.4 degree deviation, which led to the tip be bent and it constantly losing air. But whatever, I can fix it. So I flipped the bike, unscrewed a tire, popped the tire from the rim, ripped the tube out, put the new tube back in, put the tire back on, put the bike into an upright position, put air into the tube, and ride away. But I made a vital mistake. I once again didn't pull perfectly up and slightly bent the ring out of shape, and thus it would constantly lose air again. So I had to bike a mile back home with a flat tire. I forgot to mention that this was during 100-degree weather when it was 30% humidity with not a single goddamn cloud in the sky. So to say I was drenched in sweat would be a fucking understatement. My second point, everything else uses Schrader valves. Why does my bike have to have a different valve system? Now, I know pretty much every single bike pump has both valve connection types, but that doesn't matter. The sheer fact that these things exist when a better option, known as the Schrader valve, exists. The Presta valve is the micro USB of valves. Once upon a time, Presta valves were useful, but that was decades ago. Just like the micro USB, these valves should have been annihilated 10 years ago. The pro of Presta valves is that they're smaller, so there's less of a weak point on the bike rim. In the year of our Lord 2025, no self-respecting bike manufacturer should be making bike rims where having a slightly bigger hole is a structural risk. If you can have carbon fiber seat pegs, you can have rims that have a slightly bigger hole in them. I forgot to add that Presta valves are usually only found in higher end bicycles, meaning if you pay for a bike that is good and will last you the heat death of the universe, you will also get rims that will only accept an objectively worse type of valve. If there are millions that hate Presta valves, I'm one of them. If there are thousands, I'm one of them. If there's one person who hates this valve, I am one of them. If no one hates this valve, I'm dead. But that's about it, really.